Hello, how are you? Hmm. It's time for our 12 noon rendezvous. I want you to like this page and share it. I'm going to talk to you today about the hunger to serve, the hunger to serve. I want you to like this page and share it. Tell others. I think in the midst of all of the things that's going on right now, that we have to realize that evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. This is no time to be silent. This is time to speak up and bring your message of hope and inspiration and make a positive impact. There's a quote that I love that I saw this morning. It said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away." And I found my gift. My gift is speaking. What is your gift? If your gift is speaking, I want you to put yes in the comment section. Yes in the comment section. That's what my gift is. And when I started out speaking, I did it on a volunteer basis for years, and I still do volunteer to speak in various situations. And a calling, when you're volunteering, a calling is something that you love so much that you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. I had no idea when I was speaking at the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus, Ohio, and at Marysville, a prison for women in Marysville, Ohio. I had no idea that it would evolve into me becoming known nationally and globally. It said your gift will make room for you. If you agree with that, I want you to put yes in the comment section. Dr. King said life's most persistent and urgent call is when what we do for others. The most persistent and urgent call is what we do for others. And given the pandemic and the disruption that it has created, there are a lot of people that need your voice. There are a lot of people that need to hear your story. There are a lot of people that need help and assistance right now. And so as we look at ourselves and knowing that to really live a significant life, a life that has impact, a life where your presence would be felt, is what you do for others. Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. And there are a lot of people right now that need some help right now, that can use some help and assistance. And you're showing up with the hunger to serve and doing what you can. My daughter, Dr. Ona Brown, and Cheryl George, they've been going out and providing bags for homeless people. And my daughter, when we were traveling on the road, she would keep soap and order different things that I had no idea at the time she was collecting them to provide for homeless people. And so we can do what we can, ask the question, how do you eat an elephant? Elephant, one bite at a time. There are millions of people that on the verge of being foreclosed on, facing evictions, millions of people who have lost their job, millions of people who are arguing and tensed and stressed, trying to make a decision between whether or not they have enough money for prescription drugs and to be able to put food on the table. And they need some help. I know about this. I experienced this scenario. I'm one of 7 children that my mother raised singly with no man around. When Father's Day came around, Mamie Brown got a Father's Day card. I did an event years ago in Chicago. I was on a radio station there, and it was kind of controversial at Father's Day time. And I said, "Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and to mothers who serve as fathers. And please come out to my event and leave the sperm donors behind. The sperm donors were calling up said a woman can raise a boy to be a man. They had no idea who they were calling. Excuse me, sir? A woman can raise a boy to be a man. I said, who do you think is raising the men in our community? 81% of the households in our community are headed up by women. My mother raised me to be a man. That's a lie from the pit of hell. He had no idea who he was calling. Women have created, and it is amazing. It's amazing. How can a woman have a baby, but she can't shape a baby? Come on, somebody, help me. Oh, that just came to you. That just dropped in my spirit. Up in here, up in here. I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. The hunger to serve. My mother used to work at the M&M cafeteria downtown Miami. Mr. Morrison, who owned that. Mr. Morrison. And when Mama got to an age she couldn't work anymore, we fell on some hard times. I was 10 years old. And I remember a knock at the door right before Christmas. And Mama had been praying. I stayed up late. She didn't know it. Listening to her prayers. Mama prayed out loud. Lord, give me an answer. To help my children. I need some help. I can't work like I used to. I need some help. And I remember listening to her and wishing that I was a man at that time, wishing that I was grown and that I could earn more money than I was earning selling bottles. You could sell bottles when I was a kid, get about 3 cents or 5 cents, and newspapers and shine shoes. I did whatever I could to help out. And then right before Christmas, on the 22nd, there's a knock at the door. And there was this deep voice. Hi, I'm Reverend Ed Graham from Mount Zion Baptist Church. I understand there's a lady here named Miss Mamie Brown, and you have adopted 7 kids. Is that you, ma'am? And Mama said, yes, sir. Well, I've got a food basket here for you and a few things to help you with these children and help make this a Merry Christmas for you. Mama was so, I'm not a member of your church. It's all right. I just came by. I heard about you adopting these kids. And I was standing right by Mama and I was looking at him. And she said, thank you so much. And she opened the screen door. And he gave us this basket that had food in there. And Mama said, thank you, sir. Thank you. And as she took it in the kitchen to go through what he had brought us, she was saying, thank you, Jesus, every step she took. And I remember waiting, watching him as he left. He was Reverend Ed Graham. He was around 6'1". And I watched him walk away. And I said to myself, one day, I'm going to be like him. And when I was in radio, I used to Christmas and at Thanksgiving had campaigns to give to needy families. And one year, Reverend Ed Graham, some 30 years later, came to Columbus, Ohio to speak at Mount Olivet Baptist Church. Reverend H. Beecher Hicks was the pastor then. And I had someone to reach out and say, would he be open to having an interview on WVKL radio station? And he said yes. And when he came, I said, how you doing, sir? And he said, fine. He said, thank you so much for inviting me. And we brought him into the studio. And as I talked to him, I watched him. And then in the middle of the conversation, and I was talking to him why he was in town and what he's going to speak on, I said, do you remember me? He said, no. I've never seen you before, Mr. Brown. I said, yes, you have. I said, do you remember the young man that he was 17 years old, who controlled the board, who worked the controls, who when you came on the air to do a talk show, he was the one that you signaled to play the commercial. He was the one who signaled you and say, okay, get ready. The commercial is about to come to a close. Do you remember me now? He said, you were that young man? I said, yes, sir. Wow, you've done good for yourself. Oh, sir, listening to you, I learned how to do a talk show. Listening to you, when I left Miami, I created the first talk show here in Columbus, Ohio that you're on, called The Voice of the People. What I learned from you. See, some things are taught and some things are caught. I learned watching him. I said, but there's more. He said, what else is there? Do you know the name Mamie Brown? He said, no. Well, Mamie Brown is my mother. And someone alerted you that she adopted 7 children. I was among those 7. I was 10 years old. And right before Christmas, we didn't have any food. And you bought us a basket of food, sir. Your wife, Mrs. Graham, was a teacher. She taught me at Booker T. Washington High School when I was in the 10th grade. And I just want to say, thank you, sir. I've never known my father, but you and the things that you did in the civil rights movement, you and the positions that you took and how you stood up and spoke out at a time that was very dangerous, you and Reverend Theodore Gibson, you feeding families and helping people that you never knew that one day you would see one of those children who had become an adult. Thank you, sir. I stood by my mother. You gave her the basket and she said, thank you, Jesus. And I watched you as you walked away. And I said to myself, one day, I'm going to be just like him. I have my own talk show now. And I have my own campaigns to serve people, to pass out food baskets because of you. Ladies and gentlemen, you never know who you're going to bless. The hunger to serve. Dr. King, that quote by Dr. King, I want you to listen to it. It's a powerful quote. He said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? That's a persistent and urgent question, because there are many families, millions in fact, that won't get a hot meal. Many who are hiding under bridges trying to get warm. Many who are being evicted or facing foreclosure. Many who have lost their jobs and they don't know what they're going to do, just like my mother. Just like my mother. Just like my mother. I know what it is. I know what it is. And the greatest among you will be your servant. Do what you can. I want to read something else. Let me move this mirror over here. Do what you can with what you have. There's a quote here that I want to read this to you. There's no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. I became a speaker because I wanted to serve, because I wanted to be like Reverend Ed Graham and Father Theodore Gibson. These were strong men in Miami. I mean, real men. I remember when the Miami Herald demanded that Reverend Theodore Gibson turn over the membership list of the NAACP, and he said no. That was unheard of. A black man saying no to the power structure? No, we're not doing that. This is during the McCarthy era. Young millennials don't know anything about this. Some people paid a price for us to be here. I want to read this quote here for you. It's the action, not the fruit of the action, that's important. You have to do the right thing. It may not be in your power, may not be in your time that there will be any fruit. But that doesn't mean you stop doing the right thing. You may never know what results come from your actions. But if you do nothing, there will be no result. He had no idea, that family that he brought that basket to, that one of those kids, one of those 7 adopted kids, he had no idea that one day he'll be sitting across from him. That young man that worked the control boards at WMBM radio station and gave him the signal when to start after the commercial. He had no idea. Years later, because I watched him and I studied him, some things are taught, some things are caught. When I watched him, I said, one day I'm going to have my own show, my own talk show. He had no idea. There's some people that need your help. They need your help right now. You got to have a hunger to serve. Do what you can where you are. My sister is doing what she can. Margaret Ann in Miami is still there. She's a former teacher. And I'm encouraging you, if you just decide, I'm going to help one family. You don't know who the children in that one family, you don't know of your hunger to serve. The greatest among you will be your servant. What will be in the future of those kids that as a result of your generosity, as a result of your living a heart-centered life, as a result of your stepping up and doing what you can. If you agree with me, I want you to put, I agree less. I agree less. A hunger to serve. Because we all can do something. If we don't do anything but see a family and go buy some Pampers or buy some baby food, when we see somebody pushing the stroller, I saw a lady and she had 3 kids with her. And I said, hey, circle the block. And let's go to Walgreens and get some baby food and pick up a few things and give her a few dollars to make life a little easier for her and her children. We can't help everybody, but we can help some. And the ones that we help, that would mean a lot to them. That meant a lot to my mother. That meant a lot to my brothers and sisters. That meant a lot to me. My mother, she always worked hard. Always. Even when she was hurting from arthritis, she always worked hard. Oh, authors bother me. Mama, who is Arthur? You always talking about Arthur. Who is the Arthur? Who's Mr. Arthur? Fool, I'm talking about arthritis. Oh, my mother, when she was something else. I remember she was sitting to the store to get some black pepper, and I come back with the black pepper. She said, did you get some salt? No, ma'am, you told me to get black pepper. Well, any fool, though, if you go to the store to get black pepper, you get salt. Oh, my God. Oh, I miss my mama so much at Christmas time. But I know she's watching me. I encourage you to do what you can. I encourage you to have a hunger to serve, to make an impact. I talked to a young man this morning, and because I want to serve with my voice, he called me. Mr. Brown, yes, haven't talked to you in a minute. Yes, sir. He said, man, thank you, Pops. You don't mind me calling you Pops? I said, no, not at all. Yeah. Ooh, man, I've been through some stuff. And I heard your voice on a cassette tape. And I watch you on Facebook every day now. And you stopped me from committing suicide. I'm here in Oklahoma. You don't know me. A little hillbilly. You don't know me, but I know you. And you made a difference in my life. I had a hunger to serve. That's why I speak. A lot of people speak to make a lot of money, and you can make a lot of money. But when I got into speaking, I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve first my mother, to say thank you to her for how she had impacted my life. And I'm so grateful. The hunger to serve. If you would like to serve with your voice and your story, if you would like for me to train you on how to use your voice and your story, put voice in the comment section. Put voice in the comment section. You know, I just looked over here, and you know what? Can y'all hear me? Put up. The microphone is not on over here. I don't see the light. Can y'all hear me? Let me put this up. Wow, I needed this. Oh, okay. Thank you. Y'all can hear me. Okay. Wow. I got scared. Say, was I talking to myself? I'm coming back again.
You're not talking to yourself.
I'm coming through good. What? This microphone is not on.
They can hear you.
Okay, but this is not on over here.
You're absolutely on. They can hear you.
Okay, well, what about this here?
We can check that, but they can hear you.
They can hear me.
Absolutely.
Are y'all gonna put voice in the comment section to work with me so I can teach you how to speak like me, teach you how to serve with your voice and your story? Is that something that you want? I watched Reverend Ed Graham and Father Theodore Gibson. Boy, they were great orators in Miami. And Malcolm X, when he came and spoke in Miami, I admired him, Dr. King, these great orators. I wanted to speak and serve. Decide that you're going to serve. Decide that you're going to make a difference. Put voice in the comment section and allow me to train you, to work with you. Thank you.